All right, y'all, we're live.
Greetings and salutations.
Do you want to say a cuss word?
No.
So, I don't think that we realize that at the beginning of our lives, if you are just tuning in, you're seeing a commercial and then you see us. So I guess it's a good idea to just talk for a couple seconds.
Yeah.
Right? We're almost back home, y'all. Almost. So this is our last Sunday in the United States.
Yes.
We fly back on Wednesday.
Well, Tuesday to London and
No,
Tuesday to Denver.
Tuesday morning to Denver, Wednesday evening back to London, and then back to Lisbon from London. Oh my gosh, we are homesick. Yeah, are we homesick?
My back hurts.
Yeah. So we talked a little bit about that on Thursday, but we are homesick. And so we thought it'd be a good idea to talk about, now that we've been here for about a month, to talk about the major differences that we see, right, between Portugal and the United States. What we miss, what we don't miss, what we like, what we don't like, all of that good stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
You ready to start talking about it?
I guess.
Okay.
I'm going to try my best, y'all. First, let's introduce ourselves before we get into all the festivities.
That was for you, Action VJ.
Action VJ.
That was for you. Hey, y'all. My name is Halisi.
And I'm Rick. Welcome to our Black Utopia.
On our channel, we talk about money, travel, and retiring abroad as we build generational wealth, I believe, right?
We're working on it.
We're working on it. Whether the next generation wants it or not, we are working on it. But first,
I am buying a cat, just in case. Gotta leave it to somebody or something.
I'm gonna leave that alone, just in case any of our kids are watching. Hey, y'all, we love you. If you're watching from the future, hey, let us know where you are watching from. But first, if you are new to our channel, then you may not know that about 7 years ago, Rick and I got a wake-up call. And this is, I want you to listen closely, because after talking to some of our clients, we realized, right, this is not an unusual story. So we were getting close to retirement age, and we looked at our money and it did not look good. It looked crazy.
I had to do that.
And so we had a meeting with a financial advisor. He gave us a depressing story. Rick walked out of that meeting depressed. I walked out of that meeting overly confident about what I did not know, because I didn't have a plan. That's for doggone sure. But about 3.5 years ago, we did get our financial act together. And we went from negative 22,000 to over 1 million in net worth. And if we can do it, y'all,
you can do it too.
You can do it too. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, please hit that subscribe button. About 50% of you who watch us are not even subscribed. What's up with that?
Subscribe. You want me to bring my watch
Okay,
out?
it's gonna be that. It's gonna be that kind of Sunday, right?
Hey, I got to spend Friday evening with Action VJ.
Yes, we did,
and it was fantastic.
We went to dinner for 3 hours, y'all.
It was fun. I almost had Excuse me. And I think the people at the restaurant were kind of getting
they were like
against their feelings.
It's time for y'all to go.
Y'all need to go. We forgot we weren't in Portugal.
That's right. We were just kicking back like, what? We ain't got no place to go. Meanwhile, Action VJ had about a 45-minute drive home. So sorry about that. We're not getting power, so you might want to fix that. So we're going to get started in a minute as soon as you fix the situation with the power.
Okay. I just don't have power plugged in.
Okay. Why don't you plug the power in? So I'm going to let him plug the power in while I tell you, please hit that notification bell so that you know every single time we drop a new video. And I'm going to say hello to some folks while he's giving us power.
Power, boom, boom. Power, boom, boom, boom.
So, hey, Action VJ. Yes. And hit that like button. Definitely. So 104 tomorrow, 94 today. Is this in Portugal? Oh my gosh. And if so, hey Beverly. And if so, what city? What city is 104 in Portugal? Oh my gosh. Hey KB. Good to see you. Greetings, Donna, the art appraiser. And thank you for that information regarding shipping our art. Hey, Pinky. Good to see you. Hey, Karen Louise. Glad you could make the live. Hey, Alexandria. Peggy. High vibe. Hey, Christy. Hey, Professor. Good to see you. This is our last stateside. This is our last stateside. We look. Hey, Tanya. I'm trying to tell you guys. Hey, Shara, good to see you. Greta, good to see you. Phyllis, yes, on my way out of here.
Out of here.
I love it. Marguerite. Okay, Marguerite. So what's the date now? Because I know some things have happened. So remind me what the date is, right? Hey, Vanessa, good to see you in the chat. Hey, Bill, Auntie Trey, Carmen, and the OBU. Somebody called you guys utopians. I like that. Raquel Flying Free.
Greta said that.
Was that Greta said utopians?
Greta. Yeah.
Hey BP, it's been a little bit since I saw you live.
How you doing?
Right? Servant teacher Nikki, I love it. Janice, hey
Janice.
Mom, good to see you. Good to see you. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started and talk about it because we have been here since the end of June. We get to go home on Wednesday, and we are so happy. But so this is in no particular order. These are the things that I noticed that I don't care for anymore or whatever, or just gets on my nerves. So I'm going to start with the biggest thing, the food. I know I've gained 10 pounds since I've been here, y'all. I know I've gained 10 pounds.
I'm not saying yes, she did. I'm not doing. Yeah, me too.
Oh, that's what you were saying?
Good answer.
Good answer. Good answer. So the food, it's like, I know they put stuff in it to be addicting. I know they do. And there's so much junk food, and there's such a variety of junk food. And I think the biggest variety was in the house in Denver. The whole island was filled with junk food. And I couldn't just eat one. I just kept eating it and eating it and eating it and eating it. And so I don't know if it's the flavor enhancers that they put in it, but I swear to you, they put something in the food.
But also in all fairness, because we don't buy a whole lot of food and have it sitting around.
No, we don't.
We get what we want. If we're hungry for something, we'll go get a chicken for dinner or for snacking on or something throughout the day. Plus we have our fruit. We don't have a lot of stuff, extra added stuff around the house. We just don't.
No, we don't. And so that's another major difference that we have noticed is the notion of stocking up, right? And so in Portugal, we don't shop like we used to. First of all, we don't have a car. And we'll get to that. We don't have a car. So that means we're on public transportation, or we're Ubering back to our house. And depending upon what we're getting and where we're going will depend upon all of that, right? And so we have a grocery store that is 5 doors down from us, a chain grocery store that is 5 doors down from us. So there's never a need to stock up. And it's open 7 days a week, not all night like the grocery stores here. And so that's another big difference is, whereas they really don't stop pouring in Portugal. Party, anyone?
The stores will close.
The grocery stores, the chain grocery stores, they close.
They close.
9, 10 o'clock, depending upon where you are. If you want to go to the big continents that are at the malls, those are open till midnight. But there's only 2 of them that I know of within a short distance from our house, right? And that's going to take public transportation. We can't walk there. But getting back to
going to take you
a long while. But getting back to the quality of food, so it's addicting. I got sick. Every single night, my stomach hurt so bad. And so what I stopped eating was the bread. Not 100%, but like 90%. And my stomach kind of stopped hurting. There was something else that's slightly hurting my stomach, but I haven't figured out what that is yet. So I don't know. What has been your experience with the food?
Eating too much.
Way too much. The portions are so
They're
big in the
big, and
restaurants.
yeah, and I mean, but it was, it was good, but I could taste differences
Yep.
and different things in the taste of the meats and stuff like that.
Yep.
Not anything to the point where it's like, yuck, I can't eat this
No.
because I ate it.
No. Yeah.
I ate it. Them ribs.
The ribs were on point.
Them ribs.
Thank your action, VJ.
Them
The ribs were on point.
So
the ribs were on point.
they were very, very good. But you could taste in the chicken stuff we had yesterday because we had dinner over our aunt's house, and she had ordered out and had a lot of food there, the chicken. And
so one thing that we did miss is soul food. So having greens, that was nice, right? Cornbread. I haven't found cornmeal. I found corn flour. So I'm going to try and make some other kinds of cornbread at home in Portugal. But yeah, so definitely miss soul food. Definitely miss barbecue sauce. You can get ribs and all of that stuff and smoked meat all day long in Portugal, but barbecue sauce is is an American thing, and it's very expensive. So I'll probably make our own barbecue sauce as opposed to paying $7 for a bottle of Kraft barbecue sauce. That's what's not going to happen.
Right.
So since we're talking about the quality of food, let's go into the cost of food.
Okay. Well, so I went to buy some wine with my daughter in Denver, and we went to the liquor store, the big liquor store. Figured the prices are pretty decent there, but I wasn't used to buying wine in Portugal. So I actually I found a bottle of wine at this store that was from Portugal that I always get in Portugal. I just like it's a white wine, and I paid in Portugal. I would pay like €3.99. Here I paid $10.99 for that same exact bottle of wine, except it didn't have a cork here.
Oh, interesting.
It was a twist off cap.
Was it a newer vintage?
No, because it always comes in Portugal. It always comes with a cork in it. But I don't know if white wines here don't come with corks. They're a twist off. I don't know.
Well, one thing that I noticed before in buying new wine is that a lot of the wines here in the US don't have corks, even if they're not bottled here. I think cork is in short supply, but it doesn't seem to be in short supply
in Portugal. No, it's not.
So a lot of the less expensive wines that might not have a cork here will have a cork in Portugal.
Yeah. So, that's one of the bigger things that, I did notice is wine.
Yeah. Hey, Peggy. Just returned from Ohio to help my 90-year-old aunt to new assisted living facility done in 2 days. My job was to keep her occupied, so she was not micromanaging everything.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Well, we can use your help here.
Yes, we could use your help here, but that's a different topic for a different story. So food cost and food quality. So you heard me say before about the oral wheat sandwich thins, right? $5 and some change here. Well, in Denver, I haven't shopped for them here in LA because I'm not eating bread. But before I knew it was bread that was making my stomach hurt, $5 and something in Denver, $2 and something for oral wheat brand sandwich thins in Portugal. So it's like €2.65, which would be about less than $3 in Portugal, right? The everything here tastes sweeter, a lot sweeter.
Yeah, it does.
And the varieties, oh my gosh. So, just trying to buy snacks, trying to buy chips when we were making burgers or whatever we were making. And there's like a cajillion different varieties. Now, and then Target, right? So there's a cajillion different varieties. In Portugal, there is a big aisle with chips on it.
Oh, yeah.
But they're basically the same thing. just a lot of bags of them. You know, there's not like a cajillion different Doritos
No, not like every
flavors
different flavor in the world.
and stuff like that.
Pickles and turnips and all that kind of
Different
stuff.
flavors, though. They have like prosciutto flavor in Portugal. I've never tried it, but yeah, a lot more salt, a lot more sugar.
Yes.
That's what I've noticed. So I just, you know, as far as the food is concerned, I don't even want to see what our food bill was here. This morning we went to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. Hey, Art, thank you for breakfast.
Thank you. Thank you.
What I used to pay like $11.99 for was $18.99 for breakfast for some chicken wing, for 3 chicken wings and waffle. And they named it Obama so they could charge more. I don't know.
It's Obama special.
I don't know. But I know I had 2 little waffles, like 2 pancakes and 3 chicken wings, and it was nearly $20.
Yeah.
Right? At Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles.
I had a thigh and a waffle.
And it was $12. Yeah. And it was $12. So we don't pay anything more than like $8.99, $9.99, $9.99 for breakfast. And that's at the expensive places that are more Americanized or more, you know, Americanized, I'm going to say, or North Americanized in Portugal. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. And when we go to places that serve local food, you know, pancakes and stuff are not really a thing there. That's been brought over by us. So that's food. So the cost of groceries, the cost of eating out, the portion sizes, it's just...
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
And I mean, you know, when you step away from it and you're out of it for a while, it's like, oh my God. You know, when I looked at portions on a plate, it's like, ooh, well, I don't know if I can, because I usually always clear my plate.
Yeah, he does.
It's just a thing. I was raised, clear your plate. And I used to always clear my plate, but I couldn't eat all that food when we went out with Action BJ.
Well, that's because you ordered a full rack.
He told me to.
We ordered half a rack.
Action, get in there, tell the truth.
We ordered half a rack.
I hadn't had ribs in a while.
This man got greedy and said, give me the full rack.
Action BJ.
And then his eyes were so big, his stomach was like, I don't think so.
Action BJ told me to.
I don't think so.
He did.
So he told me to do it. All right, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. So if you're new to our channel, put a Q in front of your question, or if there's a comment that you want us to put on the screen. Was just watching some programs earlier about American food portions and quality of food and the rate of diabetes, right? And so all of this sugar, all of this salt and everything, it is no wonder that everybody's overweight. You know, and if you're not, it's because you're exercising your butt off. And that's another thing. Well, we'll get to that. Just walking. And speaking of food, one of the other things that I've noticed is a lot of empty shelves. A lot of empty shelves.
I haven't paid attention to that.
Yeah, there were empty shelves in Costco. There were empty shelves in Target. There were empty shelves in Kroger. A lot of empty shelves in Kroger.
Okay,
a lot of empty shelves in Safeway. I was surprised. I was really surprised. So that's not something, I mean, I know I saw that somewhat during the pandemic, especially toilet paper, because Americans are crazy. But I have not seen the amount of empty shelving, even here in LA as well. A lot of empty shelves. Formerly worked at FDA. I want nothing approved from them. The food has been tampered with. Plastic, salt, sugar in everything. Plastics in our food?
Wow. Yeah. Benefits pharmaceuticals.
Wow.
Good for you, Greta. Good for you. Yeah.
Yeah. I would love to only eat raw food. I just like meat too much, and I'm not eating steak tartare. Some liquor stores have a drop off for used corks. Oh, they claim there was a cork shortage from natural resources.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember reading that. And I think, I don't think that is a thing in
Portugal.
In Portugal.
Well, they make hats and purses out of cork.
Yeah, we have an abundance of cork in Portugal.
Hey, Lonnie Rogers. What's up, Keithy? How you doing, sir?
We got family in the chat. So right, Jeanette? Empty shelves. I don't like. Is this a thing? Yeah. So let's bring this into transportation. So that's another thing, and exercise. So we can just wrap this all in with food, because we can walk to 3 grocery stores, 3 chain grocery stores from our apartment in Lisbon. We could, from the home that we own in Denver, we can easily walk to a Super Target and to a Whole Foods. And a Super Walmart would be a little bit further.
It's about 2 miles away.
But you have to cross a street, which is a highway that has 3 to 4 lanes on each side, going in each direction. Yeah. So, lovely walking down the street with all of that pollution going on. Yes, it's walkable because there are sidewalks, but it's certainly not a pleasant walk. And in the Western United States anyway, if you're walking, you're almost treated like, and not that homeless people should be treated poorly, but you're treated like a homeless person. Like, what are you doing? Right? So we've gotten a lot less exercise since we've been here, because the Western United States is walkable because there are sidewalks nearly everywhere, but it's not walkable because it's not meant for you to walk.
Yeah, distances.
Right? It's meant for you to get from the store to the bus stop, maybe. And right?
Yeah.
Sidewalks are everywhere, but when you've got every street in LA is a major highway, every other street is a major highway in that it has 3 to 4 lanes on each side. And so, or you can take the back routes and curve around the streets, right, until you get to where you want to go. But it really is not a pleasant walk.
Well, like when we were going to see your dad yesterday, it was like, geez, I thought we were headed back towards the valley.
Oh, yeah.
It just seemed like it took forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Lots more traffic and all of that. But I don't feel as safe walking to the store here as I do. It's kind of like only the people who are suspect are walking in the United States, whereas everyone walks in Portugal. Not everyone, because some obviously people have cars, of which we won't because they drive crazy in Portugal. Or at least in Lisbon. But I think, in Portugal, 90% of the population's out in them streets walking, right? You are rubbing up against humanity every single time you walk out of the door. Whether it is, the shop owners and the little mom and pops, which the shops are so small, they're like the size of a big walk-in closet. Some even a small walk-in closet. So they're right there. So they're saying hello to you. And then you've got everybody else who's trying to get from point A to point B. Right. And humanity is out in the streets. Here, everybody's in their cars. Everybody's in their cars. And so I think that is one of the issues that we do not. Now, obviously in New York, that's not the case. In a lot of the cities back east, that's not the case. But in the Western United States, it's definitely the case that we do not have to interact. We are not forced to interact with each other as much as we should and could. And therefore, we don't know each other.
A lot of people don't speak to each other out here.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not just the speaking, it's the understanding. It's the lack of fear, right? When you're rubbing up against people all day long in Portugal, maybe that's one of the reasons why they don't fear each other.
Well, that and there's no guns.
Well, no guns help.
That
No guns
helps
help.
a lot.
But crazy is everywhere. Mental illness is everywhere.
Yeah.
Knives are everywhere,
Yeah.
right? But when you are forced to coexist with people, not from behind closed doors and behind your window and your locked door of your car, but sitting next to them on the subway, on the metro, on the trolley, on the bus, walking up the hills and down the hills of Lisbon with other people who may not look like you, right?
Oh, yeah.
So that's a major, major difference. We are forced to communicate and to commune with people who are not like us. And so any kind of fear of the unknown and all of that goes out the window.
Yeah, it does.
So that's a positive about Portugal that is definitely missing from the Western United States. And so with that, getting out and communing with humanity, which I had not written down, is the fact that we are walking and walking and walking and walking.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
And so between our feet and our transportation card, our monthly costs for transportation never exceed $100. So, and when we get back, it'll go down even more because now that we have our green card,
for me,
it'll be free.
Free for
His
me.
Metro card will be free. Mine will still be €40, and then Uber rides after hours and things like that, or when we have a lot of groceries, and things like that, have never gone over €8.
Yeah,
and which is about $8.85.
I'll even get to ride the little scooters and the electric bicycles too for free.
Yeah, so the rentable bikes, the rentable motor scooters that they have in downtown areas and things like that.
So they attach that to my my transportation
card. Well, they attach it to both of our transportation cards. Right. So now for everybody's transportation card. So now our Metro card we can use on a certain brand of the electric bikes and the electric scooters.
Throughout Lisbon, yeah. So
transportation costs. The cost of gas. So here in LA, we had to rent a car. In Denver, there were folks, our family there were 3 cars. So we could just borrow somebody's car. But here, there's only Gloria Vincent's car. And Mom likes to have control over everything.
Mm.
Yeah. She thought she could control me with that car. I got on the computer and had a rented car delivered. That was last year. Now I just know. I just order in advance, have the car delivered here, because we're not playing those games. We are not playing those games. Talking about the things that we sacrificed, what I'm not going to sacrifice is my freedom. That's what I'm not going to sacrifice. So whereas I will sleep on an air mattress for another 2 days, 3 days.
Sacrificed my back.
Right? But I'm not sacrificing my freedom. So we are definitely renting a car. And so for those of you guys who don't know about Kite, Kyte, we're not affiliated or anything, but I found it by accident the first time she played that game with me. And they deliver wherever you are and they pick up wherever you are. And so far in LA, they have been the least expensive prices that I've seen. So for the whole week, and I booked kind of late, it's costing us about $150 for the whole week. So that's not bad. But the gas prices. So the gas out here is $5. What do we see? 65 cents. The cheap one was like $5.15 on the corner. The least expensive gas. And then the mid-range gas, I want to say, was like $5.40.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, right. $5.39, $5.49, something like that. And then it just went up from there.
But gas is expensive in Portugal too.
True, but we don't have to worry about it.
We don't have to worry about it. But
so that's the thing. I'm just talking about the cost of transportation. I'm talking about the cost of transportation, and gas is part of that cost. The other thing that we had to do, because we didn't have car insurance, we had insurance on the car that our son now drives. but it was just parked car insurance. So I had to get our insurance schedule back to full coverage so that when we rented this car, we would be covered. And I didn't have to pay their $25 to $50 per day of coverage, because that's going to blow the price right out of the water, right? So we've got car insurance, we've got the cost of gas, we've got the cost of cars themselves, right? The cost of Ubers we are without traffic 10 minutes from the airport. It cost us like $40 in an Uber or Lyft, whatever we use, to get from the airport to here. That's double what we pay in Portugal to get from the airport to home in rideshare app, right?
Yeah.
So the cost of transportation all the way around, there's just no way we could do it.
No.
Right?
Wouldn't want to do it.
I wouldn't want to do it. All right, let's see what you guys are talking about. Compare drivers because they drive crazy they drive crazy, y'all.
Ooh.
And what's interesting is that in general, in Portugal, people seem to take their time. Like when you're getting checked out at the grocery store, it's nothing to sit there and watch the checker and the person have a 30-second or so conversation about whatever that has nothing to do with the transaction that just happened. They take their time. But when they get behind the wheel,
they lose their mind.
Something happens. Right? Something happens. And I don't know, like all of a sudden they're in a hurry. Y'all weren't in a hurry when you were helping me in the bank. Y'all weren't in a hurry when you were getting money out of the ATM machine. You weren't in a hurry when you're checking groceries. You were not in a hurry for the self appointment. That's for doggone sure. You were not in a hurry. But when you got behind that car, behind that wheel, I'm telling you. So I'm wondering, empty shelves are commonly imported, and it's still in the U.S. Like, is this just the way it's going to be now?
Yeah, that's weird.
So we've tried both. We tried food in Porto, and we tried food in Lisbon. And as far as freshness and quality, I didn't see a difference. I mean, there might be for some fruits and stuff like that are grown here or there, but I didn't see a difference. We were only in Porto for a few days. Empty shelves can also be because people are still ordering food delivery post-pandemic.
True. But
still.
But I'll go with that.
Yeah. The sickness pushed me to raw. I had no choice. I had to heal myself naturally, right? And I think that a lot of us don't realize between stress and food what is causing our illness. Lisbon, Portugal, massacre 1506, built a church using the skulls and bones, Black people. And when I learned about, turned me away from beautiful Portugal, but I guess I should not let it turn me. No, girl, because they did the same thing here. They did the same thing here. The question is not, what did they do yesterday? Because we know what they did yesterday in the United States, even though they're trying to erase it, right? What are they doing today, right? Everyone wants to talk about the fact that they didn't do, I didn't enslave anyone. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. No, you didn't. But you find yourself in a situation where you must take responsibility for the situation you find yourself in, right? And so the situation here in the United States is that it's racist, oppressive. It's still oppressing people of color, and most stringently Black folks. We still have not gotten our reparations. They are still killing us, and they're doing all of this other stuff, right? To us today. Today, we are dying at disproportionate numbers here in the country that we helped build. The people whose salary we pay, cops, are killing us, right? Obviously, not all cops. Don't get in the comments talking about I'm a cop and I don't care. We know that. We know that. Y'all saw one of our best friends in the whole wide world was a cop. So it's not about that, but we do know the truth. And so we learned very early on from Naki, hey Naki, of African Lisbon Tours, the history of our people in and because of Portugal, right? But there is, look, racism was taken to a new level with the United States, and then South Africa perfected it. Torres from Spain. I don't know that they sell those in Portugal. Yeah, I'm not sure that they sell that. So we've got 200 folks watching. How many of you have hit the like button? How many have you hit the like button? We live in an inhumane environment in the US. That's why there's so much violence and illness. We do. And so, I think the sidewalks, okay, we have sidewalks in my town in New Jersey, but the town is old and the tree roots have caused uneven sidewalks.
Yeah.
Welcome to Portugal.
Yeah, Portugal.
We have cobblestone. So, 2, 3, 4 cobblestones start coming up. You got a pothole basically in the sidewalk. So yeah. I look at it like this because I was reading, and I've told this story before, but I was reading in maybe Science Today or something like this years ago, a neurologist or got his architect friend or something to build a house in retirement
with uneven floors.
Yep, yeah. Exactly. Because he says it keeps the brain exercise to have to maneuver the balance. So that's how I look at the Portuguese sidewalks.
Yeah, because it takes
you got to pay attention.
Get used to them. Those cobblestones, you have to get used to
them. Okay, so Bill asked, why will Ricks be free? Thankfully, I know what you're talking about. So in Portugal, in Lisbon metro area, I don't know when this was passed, but it's relatively new for young folks 24 and under. Got to look that up. 23, 24 and under. And for seniors 65 and over, the Metro card is free for legal residents and citizens. That's us.
I ain't hating.
That's us. So that's why his is free. A maturity discount. That's such a nice way to put it.
I like how
a maturity discount. Hey, transition to tech, just joining. Maybe you covered it, but what happened with you all meeting us at CJ's on yesterday? I met a nice couple and subscribers. Good for you. I'm glad, but nobody.
Nobody responded.
Nobody responded to say that they were coming for sure. So, and I was visiting with my dad way down south, and so I was trying to rush back. So I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. Yeah, and that doesn't matter if it's off topic. I was wondering, and so that's why I said it doesn't sound like anybody's going. I put this in on Facebook and in the chats, and no one said anything. So I was like, okay, guess nobody showed. Do you guys have to return to the States to renew driver's license or state ID? No, you can do that online. So
I just did my driver's license for Colorado. And I did it online.
Okay, so you know what? How you gonna act?
What?
How you gonna act, Courtney?
I'm gonna put you over my knee.
How you gonna act? So one of the things, Lenora, that helps us, and I really feel bad about the folks who were at CJ's yesterday. I hope you guys had good food. They have good food. So it's family owned, but I really feel bad. So I'm so sorry, but nobody was responding. Y'all weren't saying nothing. So I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Do you guys have to return to say? So yeah. So our home is being inhabited. Our home in Denver is being inhabited by family, as y'all know. So when my license comes up for renewal, I will go ahead and renew it online and then just have it sent to the house. And I don't know. It depends on when it's due. I think it's not due for another 2 or 3 years, so I might just wait till I come back, or do it right before I come back.
That's what I did.
Yeah, yeah. It ain't nothing cheaper. Ain't nothing cheaper. Okay, they're talking about shipping paintings. All right, so we're going to continue on if I don't see any more comments. So yeah, okay, good. Oh, here we go. I was there and wish to meet you both. Glad I met. Oh, I'm sorry. See, now I really feel bad. I am so sorry. Yeah, and Dr. Tijuana gave me a list of great resources that I am going through. Is it the norm in Portugal for people to rent for years in the same place like we do here in the U.S.? Or in Portugal, are you expected to move after your lease is up?
You're not expected to.
You know, Kay, I think that moving after your 1 year lease is up is more common here in the United States. It seems to me that rent is always supposed to be temporary for the most part, especially in the Western United States. Like, you're looked down upon if you rent and you don't buy, right? But in Portugal, I would have to say the apartments are definitely meant for the long haul. They're meant to live in, not as temporary housing. Now, whether you own it or not is a different story. I cannot say, Kay, what the expectation is, although we just signed a 3-year lease and my landlord was happy to do it. Right? When you say,
yeah. He was very happy.
Yeah, he was happy to do it. So I think the gougers and the exploiters don't want you to sign more than a 1-year lease, because by law, they have a kind of rent control in their laws, in that by law, you can only raise the rent once someone is in a lease by a certain amount, if at all. So, yeah, that is why. I'm sorry, I'm still thinking about the fact that you guys were at CJ's yesterday, and I still feel bad about that. But anyway, so that's why we signed a 3-year lease. But the folks, the gougers, they'll have you sign a 6-month lease or something like that, so that they can raise the rent a lot. We know someone whose rent, she had a 3-year lease. And then it just went up a little bit incrementally. And then at the end of the lease, they said, you can stay, but we're doubling the rent.
Right. Just got to be careful of that.
Yeah. You're doubling the rent. So we talked about empty shelves. We talked about the cost of transportation and the fact that nobody walks, and the food. And so you have to drive everywhere. So I just want to kind of add to that, because when we were in Denver, I really felt that pinch. I felt that pinch of not easily being able to get to places. Now here we have a car and we can easily get to places, but
it was going to cost you if you took Ubers everywhere.
Yeah. A lot of money.
You're not used to paying those prices, so you're going to balk.
A lot of money. A bit off topic, but we were actually shocked at how fast the Uber drivers drove, like rocking on wheels. At the grocery store, it's a complete 360. Some people, right? Yeah. Yes, they do drive crazy in Lisbon. The Uber drivers, like I try to just stay on my phone and not watch, because otherwise I'd be white knuckling it.
I do that every time we go to the airport in Denver in an Uber.
Oh, really? You white knuckle it?
Oh, heck yeah.
Why?
I don't know. First of all, I don't like that freeway. I've never liked that freeway. What is it, 225?
Okay.
I just never liked it. For some reason, how it's built just drives me crazy.
Okay.
So, I-25, I'm fine. 225, I just never liked that highway.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I do feel bad, though. I really do. I'm so sorry.
We love you too.
Yeah, we did have a good time catching up. Karen, are you going to be in? Are you going to be in London? What we doing?
She's in London for work, I think.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. Oh, darn. So we have a 10-hour layover, but it's on a weekday. Are you blessed with good neighbors there over you or beside you? Money. So, hey, Money.
You going to tell her about the one lady? Oh.
What? So okay. So interesting because we're here in the condo that we own, which my mom lives in, right? Y'all know that in LA, and it's a condo, like an apartment condo, right? So there's people upstairs. There's people. She's got a corner, but there's people on the other side, which we never hear.
Mm-mm.
Never hear the people over there, but we do hear our neighbor upstairs. And I realized when we got here that I miss again a big difference hearing people. So in Denver, we live in our houses. We don't live there. I don't know why I keep saying that, but in Denver, the house is a single family home. It's in a residential neighborhood that used to be the suburbs. Now, of course, it's in the middle of the city. There have been shootings on the street in Denver, and we live in a pretty nice,
safe, quiet neighborhood.
It used to be.
It used to be very, very
It used
quiet.
to be. It looks like a car may have gotten stolen from in front of our house, so we're not happy about that.
It looks like it did.
Was it confirmed that it was stolen?
I believe it's confirmed.
Yeah.
It's stolen.
Okay. And it's just so quiet. No one's talking to each other. Everyone drives into their garage, right? They drive into their garage, go into their kitchen and into their house.
But we changed that. You changed that one years ago because you were neighbors knew each other on that street in Denver, but they didn't really socialize. And then when you came along, when we moved there, and Alicia had the great idea of, hey, neighbors need to know each other. So we started having a block party.
Yeah. But some of those people are now gone. And so it was so quiet. But here we can hear the neighbor upstairs. He plays several instruments, acoustic. Yeah. Drums. He plays the drums.
And guitar.
And
bass.
Yes. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. And the bass is with the amplifier. Yes, it is. But at home in Lisbon, a lot of the apartments are built so that they face each other. The back windows kind of face each other, like the movie Rear Window, right? And there's usually a quad area or something like that, and so the sound echoes. So we were used to hearing conversations, right? We're used to hearing the laughter coming from certain apartments. There's another apartment that thinks that they're a karaoke bar. And so they're always screaming all the lyrics to their songs at the top of their lungs. And all of this cacophony is coming up because we're, up on the third, fourth floor, is echoing up. And so it's comforting. It's comforting to hear other human beings, especially because I can't say that have we heard an argument?
No, I have never heard an argument.
I heard a lady who was walking down the street arguing into her phone.
She's just talking normal. They just talk loud.
I think she was arguing.
It's like, why are you yelling into the phone?
But no, I cannot say in nearly a year that we've been there, I have not heard an argument from somebody else in that apartment building. Now, obviously people argue, but it hasn't been loud enough to do the echoing thing, like the karaoke, the laughter, the parties, the this, the that, and the other. As far as our direct neighbors, our neighbor upstairs, I swear they're always moving furniture around. And I think they've got little kids.
Yeah. They got 2 kids.
Yeah. So we can hear them. And then there's somebody else who plays their television really loud. But other than that, the main noise we hear are people walking up the stairs when we are in the living room with the door open. So we're very blessed. Our our neighbor right across the way is our landlord. So
you never hear from them.
never. No, we do hear them in the summertime when they have their door open in the kitchen.
In the kitchen.
And they're
yeah,
in their
in
kitchen.
the back. So if we opened our back door and they have theirs open, we could see each other.
Yeah, our kitchen doors face each other and our front
Somebody
doors
asked about
face each other.
police. How do the police treat us?
Oh.
I saw that question.
So that's, I guess that's another major difference. It did not take me but a second to get right back to there's the cops, let me be on guard. And the 2 or 3 times that I thought I saw a cop, it actually was just the patrol for the condo. You know what I'm talking about? But I couldn't tell that from far away. And maybe LAPD changed their, logos and stuff since we've been gone. I don't know.
No, they don't.
But I do know the hairs on the back of my neck stood up, and I was like, okay, am I doing everything okay? So that definitely. But in Portugal,
didn't feel that way, but I haven't really encountered or, I've seen police driving back and forth, not here. The helicopter, I'm not used to that anymore, but I've heard the helicopter.
The police helicopters.
The police helicopter, and it's like, oh, wow, forgot about helicopters.
Oh, yeah, and there's circling, looking for whomever. Yeah, that's.
I've heard gunshots since I've been here.
We've heard gunshots. We've heard a lot of gunshots.
I've heard gunshots in Denver, too.
Denver and LA. Yep.
So that's something you don't hear. You might hear a bang or something like that, but
it's usually backfire or something.
It's a backfire. Somebody has a firecracker and doing something like that, but never anything to where it's like, oh, you know.
It's not a gun.
But even when I heard it in Denver, I didn't panic or anything like that. Oh my God, somebody's shooting outside. It wasn't anything like that. But throughout the night you hear it. The cops in Portugal, as long as you ain't doing nothing that you shouldn't be doing, they ain't bothering with you.
They're not paying attention to you.
They're not really paying attention to you, which I'm sure they're paying attention. But
they don't seem like
there's a lot of them. You rarely ever see one by themselves.
They roll 5 deep.
They'll roll 5 deep in the car. It's like, okay, so if y'all got to arrest somebody, where are you going to put them?
Yeah.
But they just call the paddy wagon. They call the van to come pick somebody up.
Yeah.
But they don't really pay attention to you. If you approach them, if you talk to them, they'll talk to you. If you need directions or if you need help, they'll help you. They're not going to turn away and, ignore you or anything like that. But when my friend was there visiting, and everywhere he goes in the world, he always takes pictures with police officers because he was an ex-trooper. So he always takes pictures with them. And we approached some police officers out there, and oh yeah, sure, fine, great, come on over. And he took his picture and stuff like that, and they're very, very, very nice. There's different type of police officers. So you have your general police department, which is P&P, and they all wear the blue shirts. In every city you go to, every town you go to in Portugal, it's the P&P, the local police, but they all uniform the same. And then you have the GNR, which are more rural, and they're more almost like, I want to say National Guard, but they're not National Guard. But I think they guard more stuff like that. And if you saw anybody with automatic weapons, and if there's a big event,
they showed up during the parades and stuff like that.
So when the Pope comes next month, it'll be the GNR that's out. And they'll, they're in their boots and all that kind of stuff like that with the military type weapons. But they don't bother you.
You see what he pays attention to. I haven't noticed any of these initials or anything else. The only thing that I know is that oftentimes the security guards are actual police in police uniform, unlike the cops here where they'll put on the security uniform, but they'll be an off-duty cop. But these are on-duty cops, obviously, in police uniform as security. And for the most part, they don't look at me unless I look at them. Oh, no.
And most of the cops all look the same. They all got the beards, and I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know.
It's funny, but
During the Popular Saints Parade, St. Anthony, I believe. Obviously, a lot of cops doing crowd control
they're
and things
patrolling.
like
Yeah,
that. And so we did talk to some about when is the parade starting? Just asking some general questions, and they were so helpful.
yeah.
They were so helpful and chatty and this and that. And that's not what I usually see from American cops, even when they're doing something like just crowd control. They usually are not chit chatty. They'll answer you, of course, but not chit chatty. Okay. So Mary asks about the air quality. Um, okay. We're in LA. We're in LA.
Well, when we first came, though, it was kind of clear. We
It
must
was
hit a clear day.
we've had one clear day since we've been here. Right now, it looks like if you're from Southern California, then June gloom. It is almost August, and it looks June gloomy. It's got this haze that's over everything. In Lisbon, the sky is so
It has a
blue.
blue,
It's
pretty
almost
blue
purple.
sky. Yeah,
It's almost purple. It's gorgeous. And the air quality, which is interesting because there's a lot of people in a small amount of space
yeah.
in Portugal, right? There are a lot of cars on those roads.
Maybe something to be being up against the. Well, you're here in the Pacific Ocean, but the Atlantic Ocean, the breezes.
There's hills. I don't know. It could be whatever small control they have on the cars there. There are a lot more electric cars in Lisbon than there are here.
Big accent, big. What's the word I'm looking for?
Uh,
Incentives.
Incentives
Incentives.
to have an electric car.
Yeah, because when I talked to Amon, that's one of the reasons,
that they bought
the
Tesla. Okay.
Because of the government breaks that you got and stuff like that.
Okay. So because I do notice a lot more per capita electric cars in Lisbon than in LA or Denver, and so Denver has better air quality in general than LA. No surprise there. But neither one can compare to Lisbon. No comparison. Denver had some pretty days in there with some blue skies,
Mm-hmm.
but then, the smog would come back in. Denver's in a valley, so that doesn't help. And even on the windy days, it would clear up and then would be back the next day. So I am always floored by the sky in Lisbon on clear days, on non-cloudy days, because you don't really get haze. I have seen from time to time a thin layer of smog across the river. You can kind of see it when you look across the river. But by and large, when you look up, it's almost purple. It is so beautiful. It really is. With the cobblestones in Portugal, what shoes have you found that work best for comfort and non-slip for the rain? Oh, you ain't found them yet.
We have very, very dear friends. I call them my sisters, Penny and June. And Penny used to work with Reebok. So, I figure if anybody knows about shoes and tennis shoes and stuff, it's Penny. And she suggested, and they're not cheap.
They're not cheap.
What are they called? The
Okies?
The On something, ON brand, and there's another one, Hoka.
Hoka, HOK.
And they're very, very, very light, but they are podiatrists. They are,
podiatrist
approved and suggested to get those shoes, but they're expensive. And she says you got to get these because they help a whole lot on the cobblestones and stuff. You want to have good padding in your shoes because the cobblestones are no joke, and it's always uneven. You don't never find a real flat surface unless you walk in the middle of the street or you have a concrete area to where it's just flat concrete going down, but that's kind of far and in between too.
And even the streets, some of the streets are cobblestone. They are starting to pave. Like our street has, the street coming to our street, I should say, has asphalt, blacktop, whatever, asphalt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Over the cobblestones. And I know there's cobblestones underneath. And so they're starting to do that across the city. But it's by the time they finish, they're going to have to come back and start doing it again.
And they do that cobblestone by hand.
By hand.
I watched a
By
guy,
hand.
they did some work around the house. Actually, I filmed it. And this one guy was down there actually putting the cobblestone in each area. It was like, okay, this is going to take a while, but he was so good at it.
Yeah.
He finished it in a matter of hours.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, it's amazing. So this is interesting. Once I got back after 4 weeks in Europe, I noticed people in Oakland kept smiling at me. What's up with that? I realized my expression had softened.
Wow.
I've questioned if I need my mean mug again. You know, I feel like my resting bitch face has come back. I feel like that has come back. I really do. So Karen Louise is in London right now, and then she's back in LA when we're leaving.
Oh Lord, kid was stabbed up the street.
So Monica asked, "Why are we in the U.S.?" We were in the U.S. for a wedding and to take care of some business. Did we take care of all the business? Of course we didn't. Of course we didn't. And I booked the flight back according to our friend's birthday. And I'm so glad he's having that birthday because we probably would have extended. And I don't want to be here anymore.
But we almost need to be here.
So
quiet as kept.
So question, when are you returning to Lisbon? Wednesday. Was going to go to Portugal February 2024 to get lease set up, to get visa. Do you recommend moving timeline up? I thought I would have saved money pushing it out, but Airbnbs are getting booked up in February already.
Oh, yeah.
Really? Where are we? July. Wow. I think February is a good time. Were you going to come to get lease? Okay. Are you going to apply in 2023? I think you definitely should be no, if you're going to get the lease in 2024, then you can't apply until after you get the lease. So I would try to move it up to 2023 if you can, just because I don't know what changes are going to happen, if any. There might not be any changes, but consulates seems like they can do whatever the heck they want to do.
Mm.
So the prices should be cheaper, Nana, in February. They should be cheaper. December, but January, February, definitely.
Yeah.
Right? November, they should be cheaper. So, okay. So yeah, we did attend a family wedding and it was beautiful. And I'm sure you guys got all dolled up. And my mom is just okay. And that's why he's saying that we need to stay. But I can't stay for bureaucracy. I just can't.
What did Action BJ say? He said gunshots are official American welcome.
Welcome home. Welcome home. Pow, 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 right? I tell you. So, which leads me to the next thing that kind of gave me some reverse culture shock. Because with all of the gun violence, and yeah, we have heard gunshots, and that it unnerves me a little bit more than it unnerved me before. And I don't know why. I don't know if that's because it seems like there's more mass shootings and just shootings in general today than there was a year ago, or if I'm just not as desensitized to it as I used to be. I don't know which one, but it definitely unnerves me more. Before, I wouldn't even pay attention to it. Oh, gunshots. That's kind of like the stars come out at night, there's gunshots. That's what happens. The moon, the stars, the gunshots. That's what happens. So, and with that, why can't we get any laws changed? Because they say it's because there's mental illness, but there's mental illness everywhere, everywhere. But what there's not are these doggone drug commercials. Between the billboards, and I don't watch TV, but my aunt and my mom are addicted to Family Feud.
Oh, yeah.
And those drug commercials with the long, like you've got 10 seconds of commercial, 30 seconds of all of the side effects and the warnings, ending with, and you may die. It could kill you.
Oh,
but
yeah. Oh, yeah. By the way.
It could kill you, but
by the way,
you'll have happier mornings.
Yeah.
Happier mornings until you feel suicidal.
Or you might grow an arm out of your ear.
Right.
But it's okay. Check with your doctor.
Check with your doctor before prescribing this for yourself. I mean,
I'm not gonna lie. Because I watch Hulu from Portugal when I can get it. So, and they do have their drug commercials. It's like, but what I'll do is I'll turn the volume down and count it off, and it'll be gone because I'm not going to sit there and watch.
Yeah, at least on Hulu, you can see how many seconds to the commercial is over or whatever.
I'm not going to sit there and watch drug commercials.
But we do watch some Portuguese TV because we're trying to get our ears used to hearing Portuguese, right? Not just in the streets, but it's like newscasters, we've been told, really enunciate. And so, if we can get used to hearing that and then get used to, mom and pop in their stores, speaking very fast Portuguese to us. So, but I don't see those kind of commercials. Like we can understand what the commercials are about, even though we can't understand Portuguese. And I do see a few over-the-counter commercials for stuff.
Yeah.
But not drug commercials, not things that are supposed to be prescribed. When you haven't seen those for almost a year and then you see them, it sounds and looks crazy. What are we doing here? What are we doing? And how? Like, if you've got folks who believe that that 9/11 is Obama's fault, how are they equipped to tell the doctor what should be prescribed to them?
Yeah, that's scary. What did my stethoscope travels?
Where is that? Down there?
Right there.
Okay. Well, let's answer Lenora.
Okay, Lenora.
So between Mexico and Portugal, which place has the lowest cost of living overall? I would say it's like major city to major city. Lisbon to Mexico City. Let's do that. Lisbon to Mexico City. Mexico City may be a little cheaper, but not by a lot. Lisbon, Porto to like Guadalajara or Querétaro, Mexico's cheaper. Mm-hmm. Outside of the major cities in Portugal, compared to those same places in Mexico, it's probably the same. And Portugal may even beat Mexico in some cases.
Right.
Yeah. So. All right. What else we got going? Oh, you wanted to see. So my stethoscope travels. Cops only pay attention if you're going in and out the door.
In the outdoor.
In the outdoor, people don't.
Then they will kindly escort you to the indoor.
Ask me how I know, right?
The scope up.
You're going in the wrong door. You are going in the wrong door. But I'm going to tell you, and this is funny because the thieves in Portugal, bless their hearts. Bless their poor little hearts. Now, the thieves here in LA, not in LA, in the States, when I have seen them, and usually they're in the neighborhoods that I'm in, so usually they look like me and they're black. usually, which means, especially back in the day, they were sagging. So the goofy things about the grab and go, thieves here is that they would start tripping over their pants, right? Because they're sagging, and then they get caught. But here in the grocery store, but in Lisbon, in the grocery store, these thieves, what are they doing, Rick?
Oh, they stuffing it down the front of their pants.
And not like...
Yeah, I mean, they ain't hiding. They're not turning to the side doing it. They just stuff. It's like...
And then trying to
it's
run.
like, I wanted to say, my man, I'm standing right next to you, looking at you, and he ain't paying me no mind. He just stuffing his pants.
With big stuff.
With big stuff.
With big stuff. Now, if someone is taking some raw meat and some cucumbers and things like that, I'm like, they're hungry. They're hungry. But if you're taking party food, you got the munchies. You've got the munchies and you have no money because you spent it all on that. What do they always sell in Portugal? Hashish or whatever they be, asking the tourist about, right?
I don't know what they be doing, but that was funny. I was like,
I know that they're taking party food. They're not taking real food, right? Cubes, cheese, and prosciutto.
That was the second time, though, because we saw one guy's we was taking cheese.
He was taking cheese. He was taking party food.
Yeah. And then the guy that I saw when you weren't with me that time, he was in the cold section, but he was like, dude, there's a store full of people and you're stuffing your pants like you're going to get away with this.
Rick has it down. Men watch different things than we do regarding surroundings. Yeah, because I'm like P&P, TRC, and LTD. I don't know what you're talking about. Cops. Does anyone have short stay recommendations other than Airbnb for my trip to get my lease set and ready for visa applications? Airbnb is expensive and booked up. Also, Idealistas sometimes have short-term rentals. Look at booking.com, look at VRBO. And then where in Lisbon are you looking? Are you looking in Cacilhas? Are you looking in Algés? Where are you looking? What did you watch our Airbnb video? So yeah.
I keep adjusting. I'm sorry, y'all. I got to keep adjusting because my lower back is jacked up. I haven't really slept in a bed in a month, so I have to keep adjusting because I'm hurting.
We probably will not be doing this the next time we come.
Well, no, we won't be doing this next time we come. Believe I can't do it.
Did you see his expression?
I can't do it. My lower back is killing
So when you talk about sacrifices, something else will have to be sacrificed because this ain't gonna be the sacrifice.
Like this. I can't do the couch.
I don't blame you. Maybe we won't have to ever come back.
Yeah, we got to come back.
Don't even ever. I'm gonna do everything I can. How much luggage you guys traveling with this time around?
Backpack, carry on each of us. Then we had one check bag. And that's pretty much what we're traveling with. Now, when we go back, we're going to ship.
We're shipping two deployment bags.
Deployment bags.
We came out here with the deployment bag inside of a deployment bag. And the deployment bags are in the description below. But we're bringing back some artwork and other things like that, which I'm very happy about. A couple more pieces of linens and stuff. I don't know. I must have been crazy. I don't know. But for the guest bedroom, I didn't have any matching anything. And I still haven't found nice sheets in Portugal. So I'm taking some more sheets, a few more towels, because I noticed when we had guests, it was like, So a couple more things for the kitchen. I would have liked to have changed towels more often.
Oh, okay.
When we had guests. And I didn't bring a lot. So I'm bringing more, and then that'll be it. We should be fine because I'm not having a bunch of stuff for the few times a year we have guests. So that's what we're doing. So drug commercials, we talked about those. The other thing that is a big difference, speaking of drug commercials, are the rows and rows and rows of over-the-counter drugs. That does not exist in Portugal. And like when you go into Target, it's like 3 major rows of over-the-counter drugs.
Yeah, you don't really see because when I go to the drugstore down the street from the apartment, uh, I don't see all kind of different over the counter drugs. I don't see
any.
I'm still looking for Alka Seltzer. The only place I've seen Alka Seltzer was in Wales. When we bought it and it was expensive, the little box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
so
it was
you
like
don't
$9.
see all that kind of stuff, all the different antacids and stuff.
We should get some and bring it back. So these are the kind of things we have to bring back, right? You could use bicarbonate soda and something else, right? You don't have to have Alka-Seltzer, but things like that are behind the counter. Having big CVS type drugstores is not a thing. The major chain is Wells, as he said, WELLS, like well-being.
Dr. Wells, isn't it?
I don't know. I was thinking about well-being.
No, I think it was Dr. Wells, but it's,
and so those are closer to a CVS or something, but they're small, right? They don't really have the groceries and things like that. And they're about a third of the size of the average CVS or Walgreens.
And you buy it, when you buy something in Wells, you pay for it. You can't go take it to the cash register like if you were in Target and you bought something out of the CVS portion. You can go to any cash register. You can't do that. You have to buy it through Wells.
So speaking of drugs, also one of the things that I think, I don't know if this stuff is good for you, but we are American and we have been used to a certain amount of things, right? So all the drugstore stuff, sunblock is very expensive in Portugal. I've said this before. So I'm bringing 2 things of sunblock back. Ibuprofen, just all of that kind of stuff.
It's there.
Triple antibiotic. It's there.
It's a different name.
And it's more, all the drugstore type items are more expensive. What's not more expensive if you buy their brand of like facial creams, moisturizers, and things like that. But sunblock, off bug spray for a little bitty thing, it was like $24. 24 euro, so $25, $26. It was expensive. It's expensive. So drugstore items that are really inexpensive in the United States tend to be more in Portugal. Not everything, but a lot of things. And then there's so much more variety here and so many more drugs. So many more drugs. So 1,000 types of ibuprofen, 1,000 types of acetaminophen, and then whatever that new one is that something else is made out of. I don't know. There's Motrin, Tylenol, and Advil. What's Advil made out of? I don't know. Whatever. So, and then there's the off brands of those and the this and the that and all of this stuff. And there's some with sleep aid and some without. And then you've got allergy medicines. It's really difficult to find that stuff in Portugal. It's behind the counter. You have to ask the pharmacist. Yeah. It's just not something that you can just purchase without somebody with some authority knowing about it. Yes, and yes, because I'm not watching TV. I have not watched one bit of TV except for when it's on. Both I told you, both my aunt and my mom are addicted to Steve Harvey, Family Feud.
And they got to be old ones.
They're reruns. They're probably the reruns that was on the rerun of the rerun. I have not watched any news. And who were they talking about? Oh, Jamie Foxx. And not even pop culture news. So I knew that something happened with Jamie. He was in the hospital. And last night at a family dinner, they were talking about, the latest with Jamie. And I don't know, clones of Jamie and this and that. I don't know. I didn't know
He said
what
he
they were
wasn't a
talking
clone.
about.
I guess people were saying that he was cloned.
That he was actually dead and this was a clone of him. I'm not going to say only in America because some ridiculous stuff has happened in other parts of the world. But really, a clone?
And my daughter asked if she would be okay with her nursing shoes. You probably would be. They're cushy.
So one of the things that we're going to try is I have a glue gun. I'm going to, I should check the glue gun, make sure it still works. But I saw I think on a YouTube video, so someone was asking us about the shoes. So I'm going to try to put some glue on the bottom of my most slippery shoes and see if it works, because supposedly that'll create grips. And if it does,
I can see where it creates grip. I don't see how it would hold on to the shoe.
Well, that's the question. If you have to replace it every week, it's not worth it. If you replace it every 2 to 3 months, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah,
so
I think you would have
we will keep you posted. I'm going to put it on the shoes that I wear the most often, and I will see. If I have to replace it in a week, I'll let y'all know. It ain't worth it. Don't try that. So I would love to know what they're saying about the pharmaceutical system in America, because I can only imagine. Lord, between the drug commercials and the lawyers advertising for suing, right? For a hangnail here in the U.S., right? You're craving the summer to end and go back to Spain. I know that's right. I know that's right.
What's Courtney saying?
Exactly why I got the hell up out of the hospital. They all now have their MD and RN from Google. Are you serious? I know you're exaggerating, but still, seriously?
She might not be.
Yes, Ange. Rent is the one thing that really is becoming more expensive, but I can say, so I don't know where you live in the United States, Ange. You don't live in Atlanta, do you? That compared to Denver, for that 3-bed, because I did look it up, for a 3-bedroom or a 2-bedroom plus, right, apartment in the same type of neighborhood in Denver, we would be paying close to $3,000. We're paying €1,300, which is about $1,400. So yes, the rents are becoming much more expensive. In 2019, he rented that same apartment out because he's not trying to scam anybody. So he sent us the copy of the contract he had with the prior folks, right, as a template to use and to see if we were agreeable to the terms, except for the price. And he was charging them $1,100 in 2019. So to charge us $13 in 2022, I don't think is that bad. However, it's still a lot more. I know Christina and Aman of Our Rich Journey were paying $2,500 for a solid 3-bedroom, maybe a 3-bedroom plus, back in 2018, 2019. $2,500 a month in rent. And still, with their daughters in private school, were able to live off of $40,000 a year. And so even though the rents are high, we're still able to live off of, $32,000, $33,000 a year, because everything else is so much less expensive, right? Like I said, my Earl Wheat sandwich thins, which I can't even stomach here, are 50% cheaper for the same brand in Portugal. His bottle of wine is a third of the cost. When we go out to eat, just to have a glass of wine at the kiosk, is like €1, 65 cents to €2. Everything else, movies, you don't have to go to the matinee. You can go at night, and it's still the price that it was like back in 2012, right? Like €7, €8 for the good seats with the cush that go back and all of and all of that stuff, right? Not at the dollar theater on Tuesdays or whatever.
Yeah.
So
medical, you're not spending as much money.
Right. And so that's not even including healthcare costs. So yes, the rents are becoming more expensive, but still, if I compare it, and I looked at the rents in Denver. I haven't looked at the rents in LA lately, just the rents here where we own this condo. But other than that,
wouldn't you think that,
and they're much more expensive.
Wouldn't you think that would start coming down some, because the Portuguese really can't afford that?
I think Portuguese rents are in a bubble. I think that as the dollar gets weaker in comparison to the euro, there will be less of an influx of Americans. Some of the Americans who believe that they can move today may not be able to move tomorrow if the trend continues, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I do think that there is a situation where rents could start coming down, as well as the cost of real estate could, if they continue to get the influx faster than they can put inventory on the market. Then that's going to counteract. So but yeah, I still say overall, if you are from a major city in the United States, you can live in the Lisbon metro area less expensively. Can you live better in Lisbon less expensively? Maybe not. I don't know. It depends on where you live and how you live. Yes, it has. Yes, it has. And so I got to caveat that less expensive in Mexico versus Portugal, Lisbon. I am basing that on when the peso was like 20 pesos to $1. Was it 20 or 200 when it was there, as opposed to 16 or something, which it is now? So I don't know if it was 200 pesos to $1 or 20 pesos to $1. I can't remember. But that's what it was last year when we were there. So I'm basing it on last year's prices in Mexico versus today's prices here. So, yeah. All right. I don't know what y'all are talking about. Stealing from Walmart. Self-checkout. That's hilarious. They don't have a lot of self-checkout in Lisbon. They do at the big continents, but because the stores are so much smaller, they don't really have a lot of self-checkout.
But all the stores now, the Target by the house is total.
Okay, P&J. I'm gonna call you P&J. Let us know. We got you, slap your mama. I told you we got you, slap your mama. But towels and things, let me know. I have heard from my Portuguese friends, oh, they're everywhere. But because most of the places are mom and pops, they can't tell me the names of these places. And I found my pots around the corner from the house at a mom and pop place for a fraction of the cost. I will do that. I will gladly do that. I will gladly do that. I don't know, because I bought big things of shampoo. I had so many different shampoos. I'm still using the shampoo that I brought with me. But remember, in Portugal, there are a lot of Black folks. There are a lot of Africans, Brazilians, Cape Verdeans, as well as Black Portuguese. So there are hair care products that I don't recognize the name of, but have Black folks on them. for our hair. So you will never have to worry about hair care products if Portugal is your place. Okay. Nor people to do your hair. So that's another major difference. Besides being in poverty and getting free Medicare / Obamacare in the United States for the states that do that, there is no comparison. There really is no comparison. So to get the same kind of health care we would access at the same cost or the same kind of like copay and all of that, we would probably have to pay about $700 to $1,000 a month here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And we pay $180 a month.
Yeah, easy.
We have expensive insurance for Portugal. We pay $180 a month, but we don't. We pay it every 6 months.
Every 6 months.
But it breaks down to less than $180 a month, actually about $165 a month. It would be $180 a month because it's $1,800 a year. So something like $170, $168, something like that per month. And it's more expensive because of a pre-existing, and it's more expensive because of our age. You were going to say?
No, I was going to say, you got some people paying $1,800 a month here.
Oh, yeah. Insurance. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Okay. Oh, we're not that far behind. Okay, good. Oh, girl. Now, Ange, we know New York City. We know New York City. Everything is based upon New York City. So Lisbon, I want to say, according to Numbeo or Earthawaits, one of the two, because I can't remember which one does this exact calculation. But I want to say it's about 45% of the cost of New York City. Come on now. New York is out of control. New York is not as out of control as San Francisco, because at least I didn't have to pay $5 for a small bottle of water. Picky Girl Travels could talk to rising prices in Mexico City and Mexico, I'd imagine. Yeah, right, exactly. Adelia, and she does talk to that, speak to that. And I was talking to Rashida about it as well when she was in Portugal. And so some of my calculation is based upon anecdotally what Adelia and Rashida have said about Mexico City in comparison to Lisbon. Adelia has lived in Mexico City for a long time, comparatively speaking. She has got a great rate on her rent, and I've never heard her complain about him or her raising it, et cetera, et cetera. I have heard Rashida talk about, well, if she raises it, then blah, 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 whoop-de-boo, right? And she does have a lot of amenities in her building. But she is paying more than we're paying. So she's paying more for rent than we are paying. She didn't tell me exactly how much, and I'm not sure if she's ever said exactly how much on air. I don't know. So I'm glad she didn't tell me, because if she hasn't said on air, I don't want to be the one. But I told her how much we pay, and she says, oh yes, I'm paying a good amount more than that. So yeah. So that's one thing that we do know. So just based upon that, I'm thinking that there's probably some things in Mexico City that you can get less expensively than you can in Portugal, and then vice versa, right? Because wine is cheaper than water. I'm just trying to tell you.
So true.
I'm just trying to tell you, So was that here or there? Because $80 for two people in Portugal, that is fancy schmancy, or very, very, very much in the tourist area. Okay, so I think we are not far behind in there. So the other thing that I forgot about that I don't particularly like is all of the strip malls. Strip malls in my mind equal cars. I think the strip mall was invented for the car. The good thing about all the strip malls is that you can pretty much go to one place and find everything. And there might even be some mom and pops in there, not just the chains. But, which reminds me, the other thing that I don't like, Denver, LA, in some areas besides the palm trees, we could close our eyes and say we could be in either place because it's the same chains, the same corporate restaurants, the same everything, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right? And it's lovely in Portugal to see that in the service industry, I would say about, not in the malls now, not in the malls necessarily, but on the streets, I would say about 80% of the businesses, if they're chains, they're far and few between.
Yeah. That's true.
Right? Most of them are mom and pops. Most of them, some of them, they have 2 locations or 3 locations or something like that.
Right.
And then it's totally different stuff in Porto. So you realize not just that the weather is different, but you are in a different city with different things. Now, of course, the mall stores are still there, of course, but all of those wine stores and everything like that they have in Porto that don't exist down in Lisbon, right?
I mean, and you got the Douro Valley, so all
right
the
there.
wine
So
tasting
you got so totally different vibe, right? But here it seems like any city could be exchangeable for the other. You've got the convenience of strip malls, and whereas in Portugal, sometimes I feel like we're on a hunt. There very rarely can we go one place and find everything we need. Right. And so, like Penny said, I found this, I found that, right? And because there's so much of a cottage industry, a lot of this stuff is not, they don't have websites. There's no website for you to see what they have. You have to get out of your car. We don't have a car, but get out in them streets and go into these stores. And even just finding the things that you need can be an adventure. Right? Going into all the little shops. Oh, this is where we can find this. And this is where we can find that.
Yeah.
And, there's not a one-stop shop necessarily. You can go to Continent, but you're not going to get the quality necessarily with every single thing that they have. Their food is good, but
food is real good.
But all of their things are not good. And sometimes they only have their brand. So, all the strip malls versus and the corporate entities versus the mom and pops. That was a big thing that I don't miss about the United States. I miss the convenience, of course, but I don't miss that. I don't miss everything being interchangeable and cookie cutter.
Yeah, you definitely miss the total convenience of Target being down the street or, around the corner or somewhere close. And to be able to get everything you need.
Everything.
You definitely,
what you need. You need car oil, or do you need cheese?
Yeah. So you
need them, right? You need towels, or do you need, moisturizer for your face? What do you need? It's right there in one store. And then right next to it is an Ace Hardware and then some restaurants right there in the strip mall. So everything you need right there. It's convenient.
Do they still call them strip malls?
I do.
Shopping
center.
Yeah, I don't.
Either way it
strip
goes.
Strip malls are kind of a turnoff.
It's more of, they're more strip mall-y here in LA where space is a premium. It's a bigger strip mall, but it's a strip.
I guess.
And it's not an indoor mall; it's outdoors, right?
I guess it is.
I don't know what else. It's a big
I haven't
strip mall,
heard
that terminology in a while. So all built around the car. You've got to go through acres and acres and acres of parking lot just to get to it. Whereas the storefronts tend to be off of the sidewalk, right? You go from the sidewalk right into the front door of the stores in Lisbon. And I know it's like that in New York as well, and like downtown areas, but less in the Western United States, definitely.
Mm.
So the strip malls versus the mom and pops, and just the interchangeability of the cities in the United States has just been so corporatized, you know? So if it wasn't for the vegetation, you could be anywhere in the mountains, right? And the altitude. We're not used to Denver altitude anymore, y'all. We were huffing and puffing. Are you concerned with climate change? I could be wrong, but is Lisbon sinking? I don't know.
California's sinking.
California.
It's been sinking since I've known.
Yeah. Laura, I will be 59 years old. I do not believe that it will be sinking within my lifetime. But I'm sure we will get plenty of warning and we can make some decisions then. So, yeah. Did you get the big container of shampoo to Portugal in your big suitcase? So we're still in LA. And I did get a big thing like this of conditioner. And I'm debating about whether I'm going to get another, because my hair is so short. I thought I would need another, but it still seems like it's over halfway full. And with my hair this short, and I don't intend to grow it, I don't think I need that much. I don't think I'm getting another one. I think I'm going to wean myself off of the US products, kind of slowly. So, but yeah, I got it there. Yes, I did. Yes, I did the last time, and I will get it there again this time. Sulfur 8.
Wow.
I don't remember Sulfur 8.
You don't remember Sulfur 8?
No.
That's old school.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Is it? Hey, Kimberly, we're glad you caught alive. Yay. So, y'all, we go live every Sunday at 3:30 Eastern time. And
no matter where we are in the world.
No matter where we are. And sometimes it's going to have to be makeshift and stuff like that. Okay, I'm saving the best for last, my last observation. So anything else you want to add, Ricky?
What's your next to last?
This one.
Oh, I was going to say one thing I do miss.
What? Besides soul food. We had some good soul food last night, y'all.
Yeah. The one thing I do miss, and I know I don't do it a lot, I've done it a lot since we've been here, is shopping on Amazon and it being delivered either that evening or the next day and not costing you extra.
Right.
Because in Portugal,
I am going to reframe that.
Okay.
In Portugal, you need to be organized and think ahead and plan ahead for what you need. It's harder to impulse shop, which helps us stay on budget. Because that hit the click, 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 hit the click, click. Yeah, I've been clicking. But it's been usually stuff that we need.
I've been doing it, but it's been like equipment.
Yeah, so we got travel lights and things like that.
I know if I do in Portugal, it's going to cost me a lot of money for delivery charge.
Yeah.
So I've kind of, since we've been here, it's like, okay, I'm going to order this, I'll get that. Maybe I should order an extra thing of this, or nothing crazy, but yeah, I've ordered some stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. It will spoil you. It will spoil you. There probably will come a time, because Amazon's not going to miss out on this. There will come a time when they have a distribution center in Portugal. It's a very small country. So I'm not sure what the logistical holdup could be.
And I'm wondering, because you have Amazon Spain.
Yeah, Spain's a much bigger country, though.
Yeah, but geez, come on, give us go to northern Spain or somewhere closer to the border of Portugal, where you can have that and Apple.
Yeah, we don't have an Apple store. There's an Apple store in Madrid. We have Apple dealers, official
Resellers.
Apple resellers, but not an Apple store. And so if you're an Apple person, then So those kind of conveniences. And the only thing that I can say, as we were talking about on Thursday with the sacrifices, what we gave up for freedom, right? The sacrifices we made for financial independence. That impulse buying, when things are not as convenient, and this is reframing the convenience argument, right? It's so much more convenient here in the United States. And yes, having Amazon Prime and being able to get something same day? You mean if I order by 10 o'clock this morning, it'll be there by 10 p.m.? What are you kidding me? Or the next day? That is crazy. Only groceries can you get same day, or things from the grocery store or the continent or something like that same day in Lisbon that I know of. I'm willing to be wrong. So all of those conveniences are lovely, but they lead to impulse shopping.
They do, because it's a whole lot easier to look and say, "Oh, I just ordered that." Click.
Right. And if you are on the road to financial independence and 100% fire, well, I retired early. As I told my two of my kitty mentors, Christina and Aman, I say kitty because they are younger than our oldest. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm reading your comments at the same time. If you didn't think that you could ever retire, retiring period is retiring early. And we need to embrace that.
Yeah.
We need to embrace that. So Bill says he's 55 and Florida's been sinking since he was a teenager, right?
There you go.
So, right. And I'm born and raised Southern Californian. And yes, California has been sinking as well.
Yeah,
folks are revealing ages.
We were supposed to be Nevada was supposed to be beachfront property. Arizona,
right? Oh yeah, we heard that by the turn of the century, right?
Folk was buying all kind of land up in the desert, thinking it's going to be beachfront property.
Exactly. So okay, so Auntie Trade, they don't have places to buy electronics. Yes, they absolutely do. So the biggest place is Horten.
WORTEN.
Wharton
Electronics.
So Wharton is the biggest chain that we know, that our housekeeper says is Horten.
Reminds you of a Best Buy.
Yes, it's Best Buy-ish. And they have everything there from printers to phones
Apple
to
products. They have laptops.
Apple products, yeah. They also have like refrigerators and things like that. There is another chain electronics store, which is in that mall in Chiado, the mall with...
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yes.
With Starbucks, that mall. But I can't remember the name of that chain. And then there are a ton of mom and pops that have some pretty good stuff in it, at good prices. It's not all just the cheapo stuff. Hi, everyone. What about that good coffee? Go ahead. Answer that.
Which good coffee?
So we went to Costco to get Rick his Starbucks French roast.
They didn't have any. So they didn't have the Starbucks French roast.
Not even a sign with an empty shelf.
So, which might mean that they're not selling it anymore. They just, I don't know. I haven't read up on it. But so we looked at Pete's
French
roast, and to my surprise, it was good. So I've been drinking Pete's. Uh, we brought some here. And I did buy another bag of Starbucks. So I have 2 bags of Starbucks.
But it's a small bag. It's not like the big.
It's not the big
Costco bag.
No.
So we're going to go back to Costco hopefully on Tuesday or whatever, and or Monday, whatever day, Tuesday, I guess.
See if they have
get some more
Pete's beans.
But I personally like espresso or espresso mixed with something else in Portugal. I'm perfectly fine with that. He is the coffee snob.
And don't get me wrong, there's a little coffee shop right across the street from the park from us, and I love his coffee. He has Americano, but I really enjoy that coffee. But we don't go there all the time. We usually make coffee in the morning.
That's true. That's true.
But so his is kind of a treat. It's very good.
Yeah. I don't know. We try to get the reflection off of our eyes, BP.
I think I need to set the lights up higher. And that's why if I look down a little bit, you can't see it. But if I look up, because the lights need to be higher, but on this table.
Yeah, we're on a card table, makeshift,
and
everything else. You know, we're not in our studio. So with the Africans and Black diaspora, who's going to start that Black Utopia soul food restaurant?
You know, there's
Penny and June.
Hey, Miss Penny's Kitchen.
That's right.
Come on, sis. Now. Sis say, I don't want to work that hard.
You don't have to work that hard. What you have to do is just teach other folks how to do it and then let them do the work.
We can make this money.
Let them do the work. Double dare you. How is the stock market and crypto market in Portugal? I have no idea because we don't trade in the European stock market. All of our stuff is still in our American account, and excellent internet connection. Excellent. We're going to try to wrap it up. That's what's up. Auntie Trey, the yams. Yes. Collards, right? So I do miss some of the foods. I do.
We had some greens yesterday that were good.
They were good. We have some in the refrigerator. Worten. Worten. So BP. And the prices are fine. They're not bad. They're not great. They're just fine. FNAC. Yep. FNAC is the other one.
That's it.
That's it. So approximately how much is transportation to a border location in Spain? Thinking about monthly runs to pick up Amazon purchases.
Well,
if somebody wants to be industrious, it depends on where you're coming from and where you have to go in Spain. The prices I saw to Sevilla, about $60 round trip. That's a hustle. We saw people doing that in South Africa, right? They pull the money together and be the transportation and then upcharge everybody. Rick, do you have Carrefour? I found Italian roast. Oh
no.
And French roast from Starbucks in the ones in Spain. I don't know. We'll have to look. Okay. So I'm going to get to my last one because this one I think is really, really interesting. And then we'll get to the last questions and call it a day. So we have been to a few family gatherings since we've been here. And we go to a lot of family gatherings in Portugal. And when I say family, this is our adopted family, right? Our makeshift family in our new home country. But they're like family at this point. They really, really are. We're all up in each other's business. What I found in talking to the people here, even the people who were retired, is this sense of needing to be busy with important things. Is that a good way to put it?
Yes.
Not just oh, I'm busy because I've got my grandkids Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Then on Tuesday and Thursday, I'm taking Hapkido or whatever. And then Saturday, you know, I go swimming, and Sunday I'm at church. Not like that, but I'm starting a nonprofit, or I'm, you know, doing this important volunteer work, or there's this sense of just needing to be busy with important stuff, even in retirement. And I could see the Black excellence and that notion that I am worthy because of what I do,
Right.
even though they're retired. I do not see that, hear that, feel that in most of the folks that I know and meet in Portugal. And that thing, that's killing us as well. Because if you're going to retire and remain just as busy as you were when you were working, just as stressed out, trying to be everybody's everything and be on the board of this and the board of that and helping so-and-so start a nonprofit and this and that and the other, what's the point? What is the point? So, y'all, we got to stop that. We got to stop that. We got to stop that and realize that as you know, Stephanie always says, our worth does not come by what we produce necessarily. And I say necessarily, unless you are producing good feelings in other folks, then yes, that's a good thing. But as far as what we produced for the economy, right? For the GDP, for the community, right? And it was sad. It was sad. It was like they could not relax.
Yeah, I had no time to relax.
There was
really
no
don't have any time for me.
Right? Let me take this thing off. How could you not have time for you and you are retired? How do you have to be into self-care and you're retired? So I want to live. And I don't want to live until I have to worry about Lisbon going into the ocean. but But I want to live. I want to live until I die, right? And all of that stress is not life affirming or life giving. We got to stop it. We really do. We really do. And so I think my biggest takeaway from the biggest difference of America versus Portugal is that need, that frenetic need to feel busy with important things.
Yeah.
I'm so important. I'm so busy. And no one has said that. No one has said that, but you can feel that underlying current when it's like, I love you, baby, regardless. Like, I love you when you're relaxing and I love you when you're giving back. You don't have to be doing either for me to love you. So why are you telling me this? Right?
That's true.
All right. And we're going to leave you with that. Let's see. Last questions.
Pinky, I love Pete's too. It's good.
Sorry, I forgot the question. Do you have a good mall service or mail service you can run? No. If anyone is in the chat who is using a mail service, as you know, we have family in our home in Denver. And so we can trust them with our mail. And so we haven't had to use a mail service. I'm a tea addict. Will I need to stock up? No.
No. Carvalho.
No.
He's here. B. Go up.
Go up.
Nope. Down. You passed them. Keep going. Right there.
Oh, okay. Amazon delivers at home. B, we know that.
I haven't seen it.
We know that. Yeah, we haven't seen you, so welcome back. We know that it delivers, but that's not the point. It doesn't deliver overnight, and it's expensive. It's really expensive. Are you bringing back your golf clubs?
No, I don't know if I have my golf clubs anymore.
I think they're there.
Did I see
Did you?
them?
You know what?
No,
He might have given them away.
I gave a set away, an older set that I never used.
Okay.
I still might have my set. No, I'm not bringing my golf.
If he had to do all that thinking, the answer was no.
If I was going to start playing golf there, I just buy a new set in Portugal.
And no, you cannot put a price on safety. And so when you talk about the prices going up in Lisbon and Porto, yes, that's very true. And there's a lot more folks, and I'm sure crime has gone up a bit, but violent crime is just in general not a thing. Yeah, there's lots of teas, different teas and things. You don't have to worry about that. I mean, right? A lot of Southeast Asians, and then you've got England right there. My Italian boyfriend put it well. He said, we work to live. Americans live to work. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. And the Portuguese say that too. They do say that too. And that's the thing. And sometimes they say it defensively, as if I am promoting the live to work. I am not promoting live to work. I have never promoted live to work. And I think deep down inside, I viscerally knew that I was not a live to work type of person. But shoot, when you buy anything, do you give them the NIF number? Do your costs count towards your taxes? So we haven't, Jessica, had to do taxes yet. That's what we are assuming based upon what we have been told.
But
what percentage of
that?
We
do a NIF number with everything.
Yes, we do a NIF number with everything. Well, mostly everything. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't feel like being bothered. I just want to go. But mostly everything, we do give our NIF number. Only time, like if I'm just going to get milk and it's like, I don't have time for this. But yeah, I don't know what percentage of the taxes or what have you we will get to write off. We'll see. But ORJ family, hey QM, regarding retirement, many Americans are defined by what they do. Right? Even in retirement. It's so sad.
Let it go.
It's so sad. It's okay. It is okay to just be and enjoy life and spend time with people and relax. When you lease a flat, do they require you to have 3 times the rent and income? No, because we don't. We don't. So they can require whatever they want.
Right.
Up to a certain extent. But Halisi, please alert everyone the State Department is way backed up. Okay, I just did. But yeah, we've heard horror stories about what they're requiring. We don't make 3 times rent. It's probably 2.5 or something like that, I guess, if I did the math. But no. What they do require usually is about 2 months rent in advance, plus the equivalent of 2 months rent for security deposit. And that's where they get you. That way they know if you're late, they got 60 days to get you up out of there. And recycling, we'll end with this. Recycling is a big thing, definitely. I would say, in Europe, period. Every European country that we've been to, I have noticed, because they're major cities, because there's so many apartments, the trash bins, they're not really dumpsters like we're used to, right? They're usually either a rubber dome-like thing, or like in Portugal, they go down into the ground and then there's just like a trash can thing on top, like chrome trash can thing on top. And there are 4 different ones, one for regular garbage, one for paper and tin,
and they fill up
and
fast.
Plastic, right, and bottles or whatever. I can't remember what's separate, but they're all, you separate it all yourself beforehand, and you put them into the separate bins. And then they even have one for like oils and paints and things like that. And those are stationed at various locations. The more, the better. Obviously, I've noticed in some neighborhoods, there are not enough and it fills up crazy. And then, so every freguesia is not created equal. So yes, it is a huge thing and expected in Portugal. And with that, y'all, we're going to leave you. Know that you're worthy. Live your dreams. This is it. This is all you get. This is not a dress rehearsal. This is a take. And what we found is our happy place for right now is in Lisbon. We miss home.
Like June is saying, it's amazing living in Portugal. It truly is.
It is. It is. We thank you guys. We love you. We want your dreams to come true. Let us know how we can help you on your journey. See ya.